Welcome to this CommunityViz video tutorial. This tutorial gives an introduction to working with CommunityViz assumptions. In this video, we will get an overview of assumptions, change and view assumption values during analysis, export assumption values to Microsoft Excel, set up assumptions including editing and creating new assumptions. An assumption is a value that is used as an input to an analysis. They're usually changeable and apply to an entire scenario. Assumptions can be a way to express subjective inputs, experiment with uncertainties, express changes over time, or test variations. Assumptions can be referenced in any analysis formula. All analysis calculations that depend on an assumption value will be automatically recomputed if you modify that assumption value. Output values are updated in real time once you hit the Apply button. You can view and modify assumption values using the View and Change Assumption Values button on the Scenario 360 toolbar, or by clicking the 360 Analysis tab Assumptions icon. Assumptions can be either a numeric value within a valid range, such as a slider bar from 1 to 10, a choice, such as A, B, or C, or a yes-no decision. To view assumption properties, simply click the assumption name and a new window will pop up. Your assumption settings apply to the scenario shown in this drop-down. It's usually best to set it to the active scenario. Use this chain link button if you want your assumption settings to be applied to all scenarios in the analysis. To set slider bar values, you can drag the slider with your mouse. Use these arrows at either end, or right-click and enter a number. You can change settings for as many assumptions as you want. If you make a mistake, use the Undo button. Values don't become effective until you click the Apply button. When you do apply, your analysis will update using the new input values you have set. The Tabular tab shows your assumption settings in table form, and you can see settings for all scenarios at once. You can change values in the table if you wish. You can also organize your assumptions to change which assumptions and in what order you would like them to show up in your assumptions table. Assumption values can be exported to Microsoft Excel .csv format so that they can be easily shared with others or reused in another analysis. The Export Assumption Values feature will export the currently displayed assumption to .csv format. After choosing which assumptions you would like to have saved, click the Export Assumption Values button. Navigate to the directory in which you wish to save the .csv file and click Save. The saved.csv file can now be opened in Microsoft Excel. Another way to view assumptions data is with reports, covered in a separate video. You can view or change the properties of assumptions in the 360 Setup tab. From the Workflow view, click on Assumptions, then click on the name of the assumption you wish to view, and then the Properties button, or simply double-click the assumption. Properties include information about the format, the allowed values, and whether the assumption is fixed or variable. To create a new assumption, on the Assumptions table, click the New Assumptions toolbar button. Next, create a name and description for the assumption. Use the Category drop-down list to assign the assumption to a category. Then use the Format drop-down list to select which format you'd like for your assumption. You can choose Number, List of Text, List of Numbers, or Yes, No. You can change the valid values from the Valid Values tab on the top. Last, you can add alerts to your assumption if you would like. You can learn more about the alerts in the Using Alerts video tutorial. Click OK to create the new assumption. Back on the Assumptions Setup table, let's go through the other icons. Next to the Create New Assumptions icon is the Duplicate icon. Here you can click on a current assumption and click Duplicate, and it'll make a copy of the assumption. Next is the Properties icon. This opens the Properties window where you can view or edit any of the properties in your assumption. The red X is for deleting assumptions. Next, you can create a new chart for the selected assumption. You can learn more about creating charts in the Using Charts video tutorial. Next, you can import existing assumption data from text, such as a Microsoft Excel file. Below the icons are 3 drop-down lists where you can narrow down the list of assumptions that you see in this window. After you've chosen how you would like them filtered, click the Apply Filter button. Thank you for watching this CommunityViz video tutorial. For more video tutorials and CommunityViz resources, please visit the website.